Morning, guys. So this morning I'm out here in the kidding stall. I've got Dahlia with me. She is getting close to the end stages of labor. She has been in labor since 11 o'clock last night. She lost her ligaments at 11 o'clock. So usually within 12 hours after they lose their ligaments, that's when will have your kids. So it is 8:46 right now, so she is nearing the end of that time. Dahlia is bred to our Blissberry buck, our junior Blissberry buck, Twisted Ambition, aka Guy. Guy is our junior buck that we brought in from Blissberry. This is his first kid. We're really hoping for a doe that we can keep out of them so we can see how it performs in shows. But honestly, as long as this baby comes out healthy, I am perfectly okay with whatever the gender is. At this point, I just want to be done. I had debated whether or not I was actually going to record this or not. After Prairie's labor and, everything that happened with her, I'm definitely a little anxious about these last two kiddings. And I'm just really ready to just get them over with. So I am excited that Dahlia is finally in labor. We only saw one on the ultrasound, which we only saw one on dramas, and that ended up not being true. But let me show her to you guys. All right, so this is Dahlia. You can see she's just not very big. Drama was a year and a half old when she kidded, because she is born in October. She's a late born kid. Dahlia just turned 1 the end of January, so she doesn't have a whole lot of room to be hiding very many kids. So I am pretty positive that she only has one. She is wanting all the love this morning. Hi, pretty girl. But she is starting to have some contractions. She's wanting all of this attention. And, most of my Nubian does do not do this. Usually they do not want attention when they're kidding. But Miss Dahlia can't get enough of it this morning. So I'm going to sit here with her and see how she progresses. I don't know where my tripod is this morning. I think Dylan moved it somewhere because I could not find it. So I'm going to try to get a good angle for her kidding. But all I can say is I'm going to do the best I can. Oh, while I have a minute, while we're waiting on her to lay down or start pushing, whatever she's going to do, I did want to take a minute and say thank you to all of you for your support and your love that you showed for us and for Prairie in that tough situation. It was definitely the worst thing I've ever been through, and I really hope that it never happens again. We've had 7 kidding seasons under our belt so far, and in 7 kidding seasons, we've never had anything close to that ever happen. This is our first year really even having any problems with our labors and our births. So I kind of feel like it's finally just kind of caught up with us a bit. I was going into this season expecting to have issues. This is the most amount of does that we've ever had, most amount of kids we've ever had born. And like I said, we've just kind of been biding our time because 7 years and we've never had any kind of issues. But, saying that, it definitely was unexpected still. I was not prepared for what happened at all. And I don't think it's something that we will ever get over, but at least now I feel like if I were to do it all over again, I could do a better job and have a better chance of saving at least the doe. Like I said, I don't really think there was anything we could do for that kid. I think she was probably gone before I even tried to get her out. But yeah, everything is a learning experience when it comes to raising livestock and farming in general. So, and the way one person does it isn't the way another person does things. The majority of the comments that we had, most of them were, just like I said, love and support and, just condolences. And that made me feel a lot better to see that, Prairie's story had touched other people. But we did get one comment where the person was like, this is why you shouldn't mess with animals. You're probably the reason why she had trouble, because you were out there with her and you should have just left her be. I understand that, to some people, especially those who aren't experienced with livestock, it may seem that way, that, it's nature, let nature take its course. But my goats are domesticated animals. They are used to human interaction, more so than most livestock, because we show them. So we are with them, every day for hours during the day. These goats are used to me, They don't mind if I'm here. You saw Dahlia. Dahlia wanted me to love on her. She wants me here. So, saying that Prairie's death could have been prevented if I wouldn't have been there, no, that definitely was not the case. Because that kid was not coming out without help anyway. So if I would not have been here, we still would have lost both of them. And I said that in the video, and I still believe that wholeheartedly, even, looking back at it. So, I don't take those kind of comments to heart. I understand that people that haven't been around livestock and haven't had these kind of issues, they're kind of naive about it. Dahlia is getting a little closer with her kidding, so I'm going to go back to her now, but I did want to address that a bit. And again, thank you all for the ones, that were sincere and were there to support us. And I appreciate every single one of those comments that y'all left. We read through all of our comments. It's just really amazed me how we have this little community already. And I've only been doing this for about 2 months now, since the beginning of the year, basically. So, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for almost 300 subscribers. We're almost there. That's a huge milestone. That's honestly more than I ever thought that I would have, especially this early on. So, I'm just feeling really thankful now. Okay, so it is 9:22 right now. We have moved outside of the stall, even though it's about to rain. This is apparently where she wants to be. She's doing a lot of standing up and laying down. When she lays down, she's doing some light pushes, just getting the baby into position. Nothing real hard yet. Her water hasn't broke, anything like that. So, right now she's doing fine, just getting uncomfortable. So we're just still watching her. Alright guys, the baby is coming. It's already starting to come out. She's not wanting to lay down now to push. And she's not wanting to make any sudden movements. She's laboring extremely quietly. I'm just waiting on her. There's one hoof out. I'm really hoping there is a head with that hoof. Okay guys, she did not let me get it on camera, but look what Dahlia did. Oh, I'm so proud of her. She never cried, not one time. Dahlia didn't. And that is a massive doe, y'all. It is a doe kid. I'm blown away. I'm like shocked right now. I just knew, as big as she was, that was going to be a boy. I mean, wow. It took all that me and Dahlia had to get her head through her vulva. She was coming with her feet first, and her head was right behind her feet. And with those feet out, it was really hard to get enough room there for her feet to come, her head to come through. I'm sorry I'm stuttering so much, guys. I'm really in shock right now. I did not actually expect to get a doe kid. I'm so happy. And Dahlia did so good, so good. And she's actually being a pretty good mom, much better than her mom did her first time. Wow. And she's got some blood there. That's just from the birth fluids. Everybody is okay. Everybody's great. This was fantastic, guys. Alright, so give me just a bit to get this doe cleaned off and get my wits back together, and I'll get back to y'all. Alright guys, so I'm going to try to go over some of the aftercare things that we do for our does and our kids just as soon as their birth is over. I've given Dahlia some grain and molasses water. It's just like about a gallon or two of water with about a half a cup of molasses. The molasses has a lot of minerals such as iron and calcium and selenium that are really good for the doe after she kids, because that takes a lot out of them. Plus it really tastes good to them, so it helps them drink more. I used to use Nutri-Drench, and I used to just drench some to them, but I learned about a year or two ago that the propylene glycol in Nutri-Drench is actually an appetite suppressant, which means it'll make them not want to eat as much. So that is why we switched over to the molasses. It's a much more natural product, which I like that, and the does do really, really well on it. So I'm going to keep using that. Plus it's a lot cheaper to get a big, huge gallon of the blackstrap molasses than one of the little bitty bottles of Nutri-Drench. So, but as you can see, she is happy now that she has some green. Little bits over here. Trying to find her legs. Alright, so I've already got Dahlia milked out. I got the colostrum from her already. So I'm about ready to take the doe kid in the house and get her fed. And I might actually do that on my front porch just so I can kind of show you guys how that goes. And just talk to y'all about that for a little bit, why we bottle feed immediately, why we don't leave on dams, and all of that. So give me just a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got a little bit here. Let's see if she will take the bottle. She is expressing hunger. She's rooting around, sucking on my finger. So I think she will take it very easily. These are the bottles and the nipples that we use. The nipples you can get from Jeffers or Caprine Supply, and the bottles you can get at Tractor Supply. These will also go on regular bottles, just like 20-ounce Coke bottles. And the reason we use these nipples is because this is what we use for our lamb bar system when they are a little bit older. Yep, there she goes. She's already drinking, guys. But we use them for the lamb bar, so we go on ahead and we get them used to them as soon as they're born. So one of the most common questions that we get asked so far is, why do you take your kids away from the moms as soon as they are born? And there are a couple of different reasons why we choose to do that. There are multiple ways to rear your kids. And we've tried it both ways. We've tried dam raising and then milking, and we have tried just bottle feeding straight away. And we prefer to just bottle feed straight away. It is easier on us in the long run, and it is also, I feel, easier on the dams and the kids to separate them before they form a bond. Because right now, as it is, we're right outside. Dahlia is in earshot. She can see and hear us, and she's not crying for her kid. She's not worried about where it went off to. She's just down there eating and happy not to be in pain anymore. So for the dams, I just feel like it's just a lot easier. Plus, with us showing, it is better to have our kids be easier to handle. Bottle babies are typically friendlier and easier to control on a daily basis than dam raised kids are. Dam raised kids tend to be a little bit wilder. Now with Nubians, that's not as big of a problem because Nubians are just giant puppy dogs basically, and you know, they tend to stay friendly regardless of whether or not they are dam raised or if they are bottle fed. A breed such as Nigerians, on the other hand, I could not imagine trying to show and train a Nigerian who was dam raised. They just tend to be brattier. You know, I'm sorry to all the Nigerian breeders out there. That's just the way I feel about the breed. You know, we have a few. So you know, I feel like I know what I'm talking about as far as that goes. And yeah, I'm sure there's those out there that aren't that way. But for the most part, I feel like Nigerians tend to be a brattier breed, and trying to do anything with them, trying to handle them if they are dam raised, is near impossible. They're just like bunny rabbits. They just scatter to the wind. Another reason why we bottle feed our kids instead of dam raising, our first year we did dam raise some kids, and trying to get them on the milk stand and the dams, trying to get the dams on the milk stand and actually trained to be milkers was a lot harder than any of the ones that we have just pulled kids from immediately. They did not want to let down their milk. They did not want to stand still. They kicked, they screamed, they flailed. Whatever they possibly could do, they did. And, you know, all of this is from my own experience. You know, everybody does things a little bit differently. I will repeat that until I am blue in the face. Just because I do things one way does not mean that I believe it's the end all be all. I completely see valid points in, you know, every version of rearing kids. But this is just what works for us and our situation. And that is what I'm going to share with you guys, obviously. Honestly, I'm not even going to like recommend anything necessarily. I'm just going to show you what I do, and you can take it with a grain of salt if you want to. It's up to you. So, but that is the reason why we bottle feed our kids and why we separate them from their dams as soon as they are born. It is just the best and most convenient option for not only us, but for the animals themselves. And like I said, if you pull them before they form that bond with their kids, the does and the kids think no different of it. I want to get her cord dipped in iodine. I'll show you how we do that. It's a real simple process. All right, so I have my little medicine cup here full of iodine, and I'm just going to take the kid. If I can get her, she is a big, stout girl. And that umbilical cord that is still hanging, I want to get all of it all the way up to her belly in the iodine and just kind of swish it around. And then I'm going to put her back on this towel, and you want to let that dry. And that is going to help not only dry out the umbilical cord, but protect it from any bacteria that might try to get into the kid's body through that open wound, basically. So that will keep her nice and healthy. So that is everything that we do basically to help our moms and our kids right after they are born. I hope between what y'all could see of Dahlia's labor and this section of the video, I hope y'all enjoyed the video and y'all are able to take something from it for your own herds or for your own use. This girl is definitely going to be retained. I have been waiting for her all kidding season. She already has a name, so let me proudly introduce for the first time. This is BW Creek Dreaming of You, and we are going to call her Selena. That is it, guys, from me and Selena and the barn cat right there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos coming up. We have one doe left to kid, and it is our herd matriarch, June. She is supposed to be having triplets, so hopefully that goes all according to plan. She's due any day now. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.